And it's really dangerous. And it's always this side pushing it. Because if you think about it, this is why they want to talk about sexuality to children who are underage. Because then they're going to say, well, you understand it, so it's okay for us to talk about. But if you look at child safeguarding principles where they talk about what abuse is, and especially what SA is and what constitutes SA, talking to somebody who is too young, who mentally isn't developed enough to understand this subject, is actually deemed SA. So what those schools are doing is 100% SA. And is actually CA as well, right? Because you're doing it with children. So this is something that they've been getting away with for ages. And laws were passed, regulations were passed in certain states in America, I know, and in certain parts of Europe, where they said that you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to talk about this with kids at that age. You can't talk about those things. But what they didn't tell people is there's a loophole. And the loophole is if the child approaches you about it, if a child asks a question about it, then you're allowed to talk about it if the child initiates it. And this is why there's been such a move for these trans activists who work as teachers in schools to broadcast it, to wear all these kind of badges and put the flags up, because the hope is that a child is going to ask them something. And then they're like, oh, great.
Right. They're going to be curious about how they look or something and question them.
But then it's like, now I can talk about it. If you want to know why I dress like this, if you want to know why I've grown a beard.
It's worse than that, because the teachers are mandated reporters in states now where it's child abuse to not affirm your kid's gender. So what they do is they put all this pro-trans stuff on in the class. The kid comes up and goes, oh, what is this all about? I'm kind of confused, whatever. Then they go, okay, I'm calling now the social services and saying this kid is now a possible trans. We got to withhold from the parent now. We got to withhold, and we got to help them transition. And if they don't go along with it, that is now child abuse. We will remove the child.
You don't even need to withhold from the parent. You don't even need to do that. You can transition them without telling the parent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But they're a mandated now. They're a mandated reporter, though, on this by law. So anything about transitioning, they have to go to social services in these states. And once social services gets involved, that's when you're under CPS watch. That's when the state opens up and now has free reign into your life.
Yeah. When somebody like First Amendment says there's no ideology, there's no messaging, right? And this kind of shit.
Yeah,
why do you think exactly? Why do you think that like fucking ages ago on Sesame Street they made fucking gay characters, non-binary characters, Transformers in some cartoon that's aimed at kids as young as 4 years old, right? Has made a character non-binary or trans.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And even there's a cartoon that's aimed at kids that are like, I think 4 or 5 years old.
Paw Patrol now has a non-binary character.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a superhero character in a cartoon, right? A boy who has a ring, and when he puts the ring on, it turns him into a superpowered girl.
What cartoon are you talking about, bro?
Dude, Google it. It's called something like She-Zao.
It's like Hansel and Gretel.
It's aimed at kids that are like 4 or 5 years old.
It's like the Green Lantern.
This cartoon has been put to schools to show kids.
The Gay Lantern.
See, you know what's weird?
The Gay Lantern.
I remember me and my friends thinking when
nice to meet you, by the way. I've seen you around.
Hey, Jake, remember the movie Hook? I remember me and my friends when we saw that we were like 10 or whatever, thinking like when those Lost Boys, like, are they fucking gay or something?
That is true. That is true.
Like colors and shit. I thought they were gay. That's how different we were. Like we didn't everyone was just kind of I look at my fraternity had gay people in it.
Yeah,
but you never know. They were just like regular. They weren't flashy, crazy. The trans, what it is an excuse for the most deluded, crazy people that should be in the loony bin, but we closed them down to go out and do whatever. Like, do you think, that's what I'm saying. It's always there have been gay people, and look, I'm not promoting, I'm a Catholic. There have been gay people that have been everywhere for a long time, and nobody knew about it their whole life until they died.